My name's Mazzella. I've been suffering from chronic pain for some 17 years. It all started as an ache in my right testicle, which I had extensively investigated by urologists and so forth, but there was no solution. They found some bulging discs as well and some problems in my hip. About 5 years ago, I bumped into a mate of mine, Mark Whelan, who used to teach me Kung Fu. He suggested I go and see Dr. Munjed Al Muderis. I said, who's Dr. Munjed Al Muderis? Oh, Gerard, he said, I work with him, he's up and coming, he's a young guy, look, let him have a look at you, he probably can fix you. Oh, he said, I'll tell him you're my cousin, I'll make the appointment. I went to see him. He looked at my MRI scans and said, look, it's all in your hip. I can fix you. I said, look, doctor, I've seen other hip guys. They said my pain symptoms aren't typical of the hip problem I have. He said, they don't know what they're talking about. I've done 200 of these before. It's a very simple surgery, arthroscopic hip surgery. You'll be in and out in 1 hour. I said, okay, let's do it. It was $8,000. I went into Norwest private hospital in near Borkham Hills Way for the surgery. And the surgery didn't go for an hour. It went for around 4 hours. When I woke up, the first question Dr. Munjed Al Muderis asked me was, can you feel your willy? And so I touched my penis and I said, no, I can't. It was numb. My penis and scrotum were totally numb, and he just walked away. A couple of hours later, he came back and asked me the same question, can you feel your penis? I said, no, I can't. He said, don't worry, I'll be back in 6 hours. But at that stage, I wasn't concerned because I had total faith in Dr. Muderis. So they kept me in overnight. And the next day, he came and asked me the same question, can you feel your penis? And my response was no. Don't worry, he said, look, I just pinched your pudendal nerve. Pudendal nerve? Oh, okay. He said, look, it should be back within 6 weeks. The sensation should be back in 6 weeks. This has never occurred to anyone, ever. This injury is always temporary. Don't be concerned. So I wasn't concerned. After 6 weeks, I still had no sensation. He said, look, I'll be back in 3 months. At the 3-month time period, I became concerned, and that's when I commenced legal action. So I wake up from the anaesthetic, and I'm a bit groggy, and there's Muderis, and the first question he asked me is, can you feel your willy? And I had to think a second. I touched my penis, and it was totally numb, and I responded no, and Muderis just walked away. And he was back a few hours later with the same question. Can you feel your penis? He asked this time. And I said no. Muderis said, don't worry, I've just pinched your pudendal nerve. Now, I didn't know what a pudendal nerve was. I knew about a pudental nerve in the people have in their teeth, but pudendal nerve, what's a pudendal nerve? Pudendal nerve, it turns out, is the sensory nerve to your penis and your scrotum, and it also controls your when you urinate and defecate and so forth. So it's quite an important nerve. And Muderis had left me in traction for too long because this surgery, what the traction is, when you go and have hip surgery, they put a post in between your legs, and they dislocate your leg to put an arthroscope in to clean up the hip, right, or to do the arthroscopic surgery. The maximum amount of traction time should be an hour. Anything more than an hour is dangerous. It turns out my surgery went for 4 hours, and Muderis kept me in traction for over 2. So what he actually had done was he crushed my pudendal nerve. Crushed. It's a bilateral nerve. It comes out in 2 sides. He crushed both branches, which means my penis is numb. My penis is numb. My scrotum is numb. You know, in the interim, I had incontinence. I was pissing my pants. I had what they call anal leakage. So I was shitting my pants in the interim. But Dr. Muderis said, "Don't worry, it's no problem." He said, you know, sensation will return in 6 weeks. First of all, it was 6 hours, then 6 hours went to 6 weeks, and then 6 weeks to 3 months. And it was at the 3-month period, still having no sensation in my penis, where I became very concerned. After 6 months, I got advice from a lawyer, from a law group, Slater and Gordon, which in hindsight was a mistake. But however, we started a lawsuit, medical negligence lawsuit. I was advised that my case was quite strong. The case ran for several years. I had very strong reports. Unfortunately, one of my main medical doctors who was writing a report passed away, and that delayed things. But I got caught in the system, and it ended up costing a lot of money. I thought Muderis was going to settle. It was looking like he was going to settle, but he didn't. He didn't. He refused to settle. He refused to take any responsibility for what had happened. However, in the interim, he did offer me $40,000 to walk away. Slater and Gordon advised me not to take the $40,000 and that I'd be paid around $150,000. However, he refused to settle, and Slater and Gordon didn't want to go to court, so they stopped representing me. I was forced to go and find another lawyer named Philip Bates, who specialises in medical negligence, as a barrister. So I was prepared to go to court and fund the court hearing. However, Slater and Gordon walked away. They stopped representing me because they wanted an easy payday. They didn't want to go through a hearing. So I was forced to retain new legal counsel, a lawyer by the name of Philip Bates, who I did, and it was going okay. However, Philip was incredibly greedy, and it got to the point where we were going to go to hearing, and he wanted another $150,000 to go for a 4-day hearing. I didn't have the funds, so I had to walk away. And it's been 6 years now, and some sensation has returned to my penis. I've got about 30% sensation. So it's very difficult for me to have any sort of sex life, given that I can't really feel my penis properly. And I feel hard done by because Dr. Muderis seems to have become a big star now. I mean, he's on TV, so he's been on the 7 p.m. project. He's been on Sunrise. He's invented some sort of implant where it comes to prosthetic limbs. And I wonder, you know, was I the only one that he injured? I wonder, are there other people that were injured? I wonder, you know, have other people been bullied by him? He refused to take any responsibility. I want to know, are there other victims out there? And I would assume that there are. You know, 4 hours in traction is not normal, and this injury as a result of a very simple surgery is not the norm either. Something had gone wrong, and I want to know. I want to know what actually did occur in that 4 hours, and why I have to go through the rest of my life without a penis.